Welcome to the Bobby Couto Show, where we dive into the fascinating world of human experiences and excellence. With special guests, real-life anecdotes, and thought-provoking discussions. Get ready to unlock and tap into your absolute potential with your host, manifestation coach, Bobby Couto.
Are we live? Are we live again? All right, here we are.
We're live.
Yes, November Livecast, episode 3. Welcome to the studio.
Do I say my name now?
Good. You do it differently. I would normally introduce you, but you do your thing. You got that trademark thing going on.
Yeah. It's your boy Loco TV. I know that. Bobby Couto Show.
And we have Colin Diaz.
Oh, this guy.
School committee member. Oh, Diaz.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Diaz, a school committee elect, right?
Yeah.
Current member of the school committee.
He's already there.
And
He's already
thankfully,
there.
humbly, fully elected by.
He's
the
coming back.
electorate.
Yes. He's making a comeback run, and I'm happy for that. How about you?
Yeah, I voted
Excited.
for him, so I'm
Excited.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to be here.
Yeah, me too,
I
man.
didn't vote
Me
for
too. Me too.
any other school committee people.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I'm just
Yeah.
putting it out.
Can I say something?
Sure.
You're one of the kindest people I've met through this whole campaign. I met everybody. I went everywhere, and I will say this: not everybody reached out to me to say hello, shake my hand, and say hello, but you did, and I took note of that. You know what I mean? You were always very excited, and I'm like, wow, this guy's. He's got something, man. He's excited. I like this, and we talked about it with Chris. Chris was on the last episode, and we were really excited about the young. We've got some young blood. We've got some new ideas. And you've been in the city all your life, right? Bishop
Yes.
Conley,
I did go to Bishop
graduate, right? So you're here. You're receptive to the needs of the city, and I've had the opportunity to be more involved now than ever before with all the politics of the city. But I'm always a little more sensitive to the school committee because I say to myself, you guys have to tread a very fine line, right? There's a line of politics, and then there's a line of just human services, right? Because you're in a realm where you're making decisions for children, right? You're doing literally doing the things that are necessary to propel our society forward, right? So I think politics is one thing, right? We need the streets fixed and budgets and all that, but the actual safety and well-being of our children comes down to the group of people that we elected, and that you're one of those people, and I'm thankful for that.
It's true. I would say it comes down to the individuals we elect and the individuals we appoint. Of course, the school committee, our number one job and our most important job is choosing the correct superintendent for the position, because that's the individual who is our chief executive who oversees the entire district. Our job, in which I'm hopeful with the individuals on this list, we have a lot of good individuals who were elected this time around. Mm-hmm. We can fulfill our duties when it comes to the budget, when it comes to oversight, when it comes to approving curriculum. So there's really a lot of important duties the school committee has, and I'm really excited to get to work with these individuals that were elected.
Right. When I think of what you just mentioned, that's the day-to-day, right? You're dealing with the day-to-day. But you've been involved, this is your second time in, right? You were already here at one point.
Yeah, I can explain, because it might get a little confusing.
That's okay. Yeah, we should. Yeah.
So I ran for office a few times now. The last time around, I ran for school committee. I came within 150 votes. I was 150 votes from Bobby Bailey, who I consider a friend and I have a lot of respect for. And I'm actually saddened he is leaving that time around. So this was 2023, November of 2023. The superintendent at the time, Maria Ponce, later in that spring of 2024, announced her resignation. Mm-hmm. We had a superintendent search, and Tracy Curley was chosen as superintendent, and again, I'm kind of saying, I'm simplifying it. We can get into it.
Of course.
Someone who I consider a close personal friend of mine and a colleague, Sarah Roderick, stepped down, and I filled the rest of her term, and just ran for a full 2-year term this time around. And the voters, and I'm very grateful for their support, chose me as one of their 6 candidates.
Well, can I say that I think you earned some of this, and I just think to give credit where credit is due. I mean, I know that there was a big issue with asbestos, and I know you were involved in a lot of that and bringing some light to that and having some conclusions to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different issues that I wanted to tackle, and that was one of them, the asbestos issue. And that should never have happened. We have a school RPA, and how many kids you have there, and I just don't understand how we had so many different basically paperwork failures for the most part, just lead to $80,000 in a fine that has to come out of the public. It's not
Right.
It's not okay.
Right.
And a lot of that came down to we didn't have like a book. A lot of that came down. We didn't have a book of where we logged the asbestos. That was like the main issue. There were some issues around like having like the proper signage posted around where the undisturbed asbestos is. There were some reports that were missing. That's all things that should not have happened.
Right.
So,
right.
and the reason why we're fine is because a few years earlier, the same organization came down, Mass DEP came down, and also at the time gave a warning to the school committee and to the schools as well, I believe, for that exact same building.
Yeah.
So that's why they came down on us harder. But that's just one thing. I think going, what I want to give myself credit for is I didn't come in and play it safe. I really came into the position. I really advocated. I thought I advocated well in certain positions and really, again, get questions answered to inform the public and to, again, what you mentioned earlier is be a constituent services for parents who, who, of course, reach out with concerns as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, and you think outside of the idea that it's the right thing to do, right? Like, I say it all the time. You know, I grew up in the city. I went through the whole public school system, and I know for a fact my mom, single mom, every time she dropped me off, when I got out of that car, in her mind, in her heart, she knew I was safe. You know, and I remember feeling safe. I never went to school and didn't feel safe. So,
no? You must not have went to Cuss Middle in the late 90s.
I went to Morton.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I went to Morton. And you know, and I hats off to them.
So did both my parents as well.
Yeah, they were amazing.
And my brother.
Amazing people there, dude. I had a really great experience. And I was just me. Like, my older brother was much older. I didn't really have, that parental, mom and dad kind of structure. So the school was good to me. And so I know that she had that sense. And I would like to think to myself that our parents today drop off their kids and they should have that same sense of safety, of security, of knowing that their child is going into not only an environment where the people around them care about their well-being, but that their environment physically is a safe one. Like that there isn't asbestos falling from the ceiling. Like, look, I went to Durfee. I remember being in the courtyard. This is much younger than you, my friend, and throwing pencils. And the pencils would stick in the asbestos. Do you remember this? Oh, it might have been gone by the time you got there. Well, we used to smoke in the courtyards,
I didn't last long
we used
in
to
high
smoke.
school
This is
either,
how long ago it
Yeah,
was.
my mom told me that you could smoke cigarettes
in the
at
courtyard,
Durfee.
yes. And then
This
we'd
is
sit
the
in the
80s.
lunchroom, bro. We would grab pencils and we would throw them, and they would stick in the asbestos. And you'd have like a little asbestos. Nobody knew what it was. We didn't know what it was. And so many years, I mean, God forbid, like I hope nobody got sick from that. But at the end of the day, we didn't know what it was then. Knowing what it is now and being like, hey, this is danger. Like we can't have our young children or young adults.
Let me get up to speed.
Yep.
There's asbestos in a Fall River school currently.
No, the issue was, in one, I've heard concerns from a couple different institutions, a couple different schools that we're still looking into. There's no confirmed undisturbed asbestos currently.
But they need to remediate.
Right. And I think the advocacy of members such as myself, Mr. Aguiar, and advocating once that $80,000 fine and the Mass DEP inspection report came out, in the administration, to their credit, also, but again, to their credit, but going back, this shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Right. I appreciate you saying that too, by the way.
Thank you. But they also, to our urging, push for testing of the entire school just to make sure there wasn't an issue. They never fined the school or the Fall River Public Schools for having undisturbed asbestos. That's an issue in itself.
Yeah, right.
However, we were able to just what's happening right now. There's a window repair renovation project going on. So, and it's an old school building, so they have to take out the windows and renovate. Yeah. And there's a lot of different processes that go into that. And a lot, because again, you're removing the asbestos that becomes disturbed, that goes in. Yeah,
I do some of this. I'm involved in like some of our buildings. They're actually doing it right now, and we have older buildings.
So there's a lot of paperwork.
The containment,
yes,
it's critical.
It's important, and it's very important, especially when you have a school building where you have over 100 kids, at once that could be in that building.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget about not just the kids, but again, you have staff members, you have members of the public that are going in.
Yep.
It's important we keep them safe.
100%.
And that's the most important.
I'm
job
sorry.
of the school
Yeah,
committee.
good.
Yes or no? There is asbestos in a school in Fall River. Yes? Or no?
Undisturbed, no, to my knowledge.
Undisturbed.
Yeah, there's oh yeah, of course there's
There's a lot of buildings that have asbestos.
asbestos,
Yeah,
but
yeah, there
it's
are. There
supposed
are.
to
Yes.
be contained.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
In an environment where, like, back in the day, if you don't mind me, they used to spray it on the ceiling, like say like an
It's like an
industrial area.
insulation
Yeah,
type
it's an
thing?
insulation
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it would be on the ceiling, and over time, it breaks up and
Breaks
it
up
becomes
and
dust.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what he's saying is undisturbed means it's not in an environment where it's exposed to the human skin. Like I can't walk into space and asbestos fall on my face.
But to your point as well, since that's come out, we've received some concerns over other buildings, which we're trying to hear back from Ms. Walm. One being the Pay Center on Durf, where we're going to be hosting in the near future a preschool program there,
Okay.
so more preschool classrooms. So, but right now, no. But
Okay.
again, whenever those concerns are raised and knowing the history of the city, those things need to be investigated.
Yeah, it just
right
sounds
away.
crazy in 2025 to hear that undisturbed or however you want to. Like the answer should just be no.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know.
But again, if you're gonna like a lot of these buildings, and like I'm not coming to anybody's defense here, but I only know because I'm in the industry. A lot of these buildings, it's code, right? You have to do code enforcement over the years.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe the fine, correct me if I'm wrong, is because there's been some code infringements, like the actual, hey, listen, we're checking on this and we're checking the boxes, right? It's
Oh, a lot. Most of it was in terms of code. It was paperwork. A lot of it was paperwork.
like violations, not.
You're supposed to have a log.
Yes.
You're supposed to have an individual who's licensed, which we
Yes,
haven't had
yes.
for a while.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
And
right.
these things are on facilities. And again, why wasn't this in place already? And this is why this election was really important because, and I've been vocal about this, I feel we were not, as a school committee, as of now and before, having conversations of good faith, and we were not doing our duty to conduct proper oversight of the superintendent.
Sure.
I think that changes now, and what I think, and then you hear some in the community say, we're going to be a lot more aggressive. What I think is going to happen is we're going to be independent minded. I think we're going to be
I
all
like that. Yeah.
independent minded and make decisions and ask questions without fear or favor of anyone. And I think that's what's been missing from the school committee itself. And that's what I'm really excited about with this term coming up.
Yeah, well, you know what, with Kevin Aguiar, it's just like, again, I think like I look at you and I say to myself, somebody like him to me, I'm going, wow, I want to do what he's doing. Like, what's Kevin doing, right? Like,
Kevin is someone who I look up to, is someone who
yeah, me too, bro, me too.
who has given a lot of good feedback along the way, and is someone who does his job every single year.
Yeah,
And the vote, and obviously the voters reward him
Sure.
every 2 years, as he always comes in first place.
Right.
So.
Well, because I think he speaks in facts. Like there's no fluff. Like he's asking you the question. He's very direct, and quite frankly, I appreciate the fact that he asks questions that he already knows the answer. Like he does. You know what I mean? And I think checks and balances are more important now than ever before. You mentioned the superintendent. And I think. Look, I don't want to call anybody out, and this is just Bobby, the citizen of the city. I think things become just redundant, right? When you do things a certain way for so long, things start to just fall away. And I always use the example of the trash on the ground, right? Like you're walking in a building, you see some trash on the ground that's there, and you walk by and you're like, oh, wow, trash on the ground. By the third time, fourth time you walk by, you don't see the trash anymore. It's still there, but you don't become receptive to it.
That's a really you actually really bring up a good point.
Right, and I think that's
you described it a lot better than I even could. We've become so used to not having that oversight, and I think you're gonna see a lot of changes. I don't know if that's where you're going with.
Yeah,
it.
100%, absolutely,
Business,
right.
business as usual,
Right.
as they say.
I don't
Fall
think it'll
River.
be business as usual.
Right.
Well, I hope not. I voted. I think only one person I voted for didn't get in. So, I a lot of new faces, young faces.
Yeah, yeah.
And age is not a thing to me. Like I just think the younger people are more innovative. I think
Sure.
the older
Agreed.
people are wiser.
Yes.
And it's good to have
A mix, right?
a mix, and also the younger people who are guided by the older people who just maybe who lack the innovation.
Sure.
To do things a different way.
Yeah, I think experience goes a long way.
Oh, yeah,
Loco.
100%. So
and I
it's-
think
I don't wanna- that's what I'm
right,
trying to say,
Right. And
but-
then somebody like Kevin who has the state rep experience as well. Everybody I talk to,
It's important having that
Yeah.
state house experience. you see it come into the meetings as well, and he's able to shed a new light.
Yes.
Especially when we're approving either curriculum or policies that tie into DESI, and he's able to give experiences. It's important.
Sure.
It's definitely
Sure.
important, so.
Sure. And then you're kind of shifting a little bit here, right? And you mentioned you're a para, right? You do that.
I am right. Currently my position, I work special education para in Wareham.
All right. And what's that like?
I really like it. This is new. This is a new shift for me. I was originally going for my bachelor's in criminal justice, and I think I'm gonna finish that up. I have like the associates, but the bachelor's I was thinking of doing a few different things, and I was actually just having this conversation with someone who works there about, should I finish it up quickly, get my bachelor's for criminal justice, or should I switch to education?
Yeah.
But I was recommended that since I'm almost done, finish it up, go for the ML.
I was gonna say, might as well grab it, right?
And I liked it. And I
close.
started this because when I joined the school committee, you automatically, your professional life, you're automatically surrounding yourself with educators, you're surrounding yourself with administrators and people who are in the field for years.
Right.
So, and
right.
I really, it really got my attention. And when I did the switch, I really like it. I really like working with the kids I work with. And yeah, I'm really happy where I'm at right now.
Let me ask you. So criminal justice. So were there aspirations for maybe police to be?
No. I wanted to go into my uncle is Will Flanagan, and he's criminal defense.
Oh,
attorney.
that's your uncle?
Oh, look at that, huh?
Hey, can I jump in?
Of course, yeah. This is
That guy, that's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That's the city.
I know.
He kind of swayed me to vote for you. Not gonna lie.
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I genuinely.
I was very humbled for his support, especially after what he just went through.
Amazing, right? Like I tell you what, I
warrior.
didn't. Just quick story. I didn't know Will. I knew Will was the mayor. Like I've been here my whole life, but I never got an opportunity to speak to Will. And so when the opportunity came up to have him in the studio and have an interview with him, I'm like, absolutely, I'll jump at this opportunity.
He's a G.
Within the first 15 minutes of talking to him, I fell in love with the guy. You know what I mean? And so 3 hours later, we did a podcast. Like 3 hours later,
I watched it. I remember that was a good podcast.
and it was amazing, right? One of my best. And I'm saying to myself, wow, I made a new friend. This guy's great. I like Will Flanagan. I heard about him. I didn't know who he was. And then 3 weeks later, this tragedy happens.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is right. Like, like out of like, it's one thing you hear these tragedies all the time, but to actually know the person and to, have a candid conversation with him. I felt like I know the guy, I know his family, I know his situation. And so it hit home for me, right? And I will be honest with you, like in the mayoral election, people were watching the show and I wasn't swaying one way or another. I was just kind of like, hey, look, I'm going to stay right here and I'm just going to kind of watch where this all plays out because at the end of the day, much like I ask everybody else to do what's best for you and your family, right? It's nothing personal. It's not that I don't like you. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just going to try to pick the best person for the job. So I really wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then this tragedy happens, and then things unfold, right? And you just watch certain things and the way people respond and the way people react and the things they say.
I think the community responded
so
overwhelmingly so well.
Right. So the community, you say that, Colin, and I'm like, you're right. The community, the elderly people that were trying to save him, wrap him in, like whatever they could do to save him. But then the people that should have been the closest to him weren't. You know what I mean? Like, and I only say that not in this family. I mean, outside of this. Right. I mean, in the political realm where, people were saying things that kind of just shunned it off, like it wasn't a big deal.
I think that's few in between. I think the majority is.
So and just my point, I'm getting to a point. It is a very few.
Get to the point.
But the point being this is, it lit something inside of me, and I said to myself, you know what? I care about Will, and I want to ask him how he's doing. I want to see. I genuinely care how he's doing, and I don't want to do an interview with him. I don't want to do anything like that. So anyway, I reach out to him, and I'm saying, Will, I just hope you're doing well, brother. I didn't reach out. I didn't want to bother you. I know you're with your family going through this, and I didn't even press send yet. And he was already replying, Bobby, how you doing? I miss you. And he's like, I would love to call into the show. And that's just the guy he is. This guy's laying in bed, recovering from from almost to death, right? We're talking, let's call it what it is, right?
From my side of the world, as far as I know, and I might be wrong, the only mayor or former mayor to promote hip hop in Fall River and bring a major artist. We did a show at his place, and he brought Dave East.
I remember that. I was working there at the time.
Okay. Yeah, he brought Dave East to Fall River. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to name other names, but that's the only mayor or former. So,
but this just goes to show you who he is. He's connected, dude.
He's connected.
He really cares about the people around him. And when
Yeah.
you talk to him and you have a conversation with him, you see it. It permeates out of him. Like he genuinely loves his community. He loves the people around him. And so, it's like when I heard that, you're his nephew, I'm like, wow, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see that you guys are very soft spoken. Like these just quiet heroes. That's just doing all this work in the background and really caring about people and putting yourself forward, because none of this is easy, Colin. Like people are headhunting. People just, you see the bad in people, but you see more good. But the bad, it's unacceptable. So to me, it was very important to have him call in and just to check in with the audience. And when he did, it was a moment for me, bro. It was a monumental moment. I've been doing this for a little over 10 years, and very few moments where I in tears, man. And to hear his voice and to see that he was doing okay, it meant the world to me, bro. It really did. It really did.
I appreciate that. Thank
shout out Big Will.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I know he appreciates it well. And he's doing a lot better. Me personally, just from seeing him, I think I see the improvements. And
Sure.
I think he came a long way.
Yeah, and he's proud of you, man. I know he's proud of you, bro. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, no,
That's huge.
Yeah, no, we talk often.
Awesome.
It was just from.
I was gonna ask you, how you hear this news, right? You get the news, you hear this.
I'll tell, and it's so just trying to.
Sure.
It was a really tough night, I would say, like emotionally. It's just one, he's your uncle, and two, he's like the mayor of the city, and love him or hate him, I think now most he's almost like a not folk legend, but someone that
people see Will.
Hero. Hero.
Yes, yeah.
So just if it were just anything, and when I heard about it, I'll say the story. So it's a school committee meeting. It was the Monday. It was a school committee meeting, and we're just getting on stage maybe 2 minutes before the meeting was going to start. And I see it was I found out from the mayor himself. He was looking over. He's like trying to I was like, oh, I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. Like looking in my direction. I was like, all right, well, I don't know. I was like, all right, what does he want? He calls me over. We're beside the stage, and then he told me what happened, and it was kind of like a little bit of disbelief. I was like, what?
Right, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, this isn't computing. Right.
It didn't really hit at first.
Yeah.
I call my parents. I told my parents behind the stage, and then I go back on stage. Then I found out how severe it was, and then I left. I actually went to the hospital just to check in on my family, see how they were doing. And I stood there for I stood there for like a good hour or two. And then we found out he was doing better. We weren't able to see him. But when I found out he was stable, I was thinking like, what would he want me to do? And I of course I also have a duty to the public as well. So I went back to the meeting that same night. So I went to the.
You hear what he just said? What would he want me to do? And what he would want you to do is go back and
I think I think
that says something, bro.
I never asked him. I haven't asked him that.
Yeah, you don't have to. You know it. You know it in your heart. Like that's because that's the influence he has on you, right?
Yeah, I think that's what. So yeah, and then we finished up the meeting. So it was definitely just this. I don't know, just and also something to take in as well is obviously there's a big community response, and with the community response, and I love the community response, as I just said. It was who would you go to if you're just a normal community member who is a fan? Where would you go to? And of course, everyone knew I was like his nephew, so. A lot of people, my family was receiving calls in the hospital from members of the media. They didn't even know. We don't even know how they got our numbers. Especially me. I'm a public figure, so it's a little bit different. But like my dad, my mom been getting text messages like, "Oh, we know you're in in the hospital.
Yeah.
What would you like to make a statement?" And I'm like. So I stood away from
that's what I'm talking about, right? Like these, like ambulance chases. How about the man, right? Yeah.
So and I was just I was like, and then of course my phone was off the hook, like so many messages, like, and not saying like I'm happy people reach.
Yeah,
I
reaching out,
really
right,
am,
right,
and
right,
everyone was very
right.
gracious, and they were very sincere, and of course I passed on the message once I was able to like talk to him about that. But, just the response from the community, just like, so it was a lot to process. Like, even just like, I don't know if it sounds selfish, but for myself, like just trying to like and then like, what would he like? Obviously, I can't ask him how he would want me to handle like so once he got a little bit better, like I didn't like I was like I had no comment. Yeah. Once he got a little better, I put out a little just so the community know he was recovering.
Nice.
And doing better. So
Dude,
yeah, but it was rough for everyone.
You can practice for anything, but like when the moment happens, like you're reacting like this is, and you're probably a state of mind where that's the last thing you want to do. But it's where you have to be the strongest, right? Where you have to stand for the family. You got to be that voice. You know what I mean? And I imagine like public service, man. These are the times that it's not easy, right? You know, because everybody wants to know. People want to know. And most of us in private life, things like that happen. You have your privacy. You're with your family. But when you're in the political realm and you're in the noise box, people are gonna, hey, statements. You wanna, like, everybody's just hungry and want to know.
And they're ready to judge you too, because you're the, laws, and you have a lot of power. So they're ready to judge any little thing.
I have no power.
Well, more than he and I. But they're ready. So it's like it's very.
Where were you when you heard the news? Do you remember? Dude, I'll tell you what. Charlie Kirk, I heard from you. Like you were my.
I told you.
I was literally 5 minutes before my interview with Paul Coogan.
Yeah. That was.
I was out there getting ready, and he texted me and he gave me the news, and like it took me right out of my game. Like I was like, wow,
I watched. I could tell.
I was.
You were just like,
I was kind of.
Nah, you look smooth though. You look smooth.
I did my best.
You were still Bobby Couto.
I was trying.
Yeah.
I was trying. These are hard times, man. Like you don't know how to react to these things, and you almost wonder if. Like, is there a level of acceptance of it at this point, right? Like, nobody's, like, shocked anymore when these tragedies...
Everything's right here on the phone. Like, growing up, you'd have to, like, go on these sketchy websites to see stuff like what we saw happen to Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Happen to Will,
more, It's
just all in your...
I'll be honest, I haven't even watched that. Well, I didn't even watch the Charlie Kirk, because that's just...
Yeah, it's just not...
I tried not to, but it's like...
Yeah.
But my uncle, I haven't watched. I'm gonna watch it now. Now I know he's like obviously better. I haven't watched. I told him I was gonna watch the 911 call. I haven't even watched that one yet. But but just I don't know. This feels
it's
like,
surreal. Yeah. It's like wow.
Yeah, you don't believe
like
it.
Your own family. So I don't know.
Right. Like this is actually happening. Which brings me to my point, and it's something I wanted to bring up too. And getting back on the child safety and the school safety. I realized that the schools, like we consolidated, right? We went from a lot of schools to a few schools, right? So if you could just elaborate just a little bit on what are some of the programs that the schools have in place now for like school safety, for like like gun drills and active shooter situations.
Yeah, so the way it's supposed to happen, and I can get you the exact details, but however, every single school is supposed to have protocols in place for like the lockdown, shelter in place. I'm not sure of the exact like protocols. I don't really think I would share that just for
sure, of course.
But there are supposed to be protocols in place, and I think personally, and we get the notifications every day of there's medical shelters in place. There's a lot of schools that weekly that go into a medical shelter in place that aren't really like broadcasted out there. If there's a medical issue either with a student or just an educator or a staff member, there's shelters in places. There's shelters in place if there's Nerf guns. I have more than once this week have received reports of just students having Nerf guns, and they think it's funny, but I could never going back to like when I was like growing up, like that's like that would be like a major
why
thing.
would you though? Like why would you? Like that's like I guess that's the first goal. Why would you bring it to school?
It's
right?
a lot, and I don't know if it's just like a parent to student thing, but it just seems to be a lot more prevalent now.
Yeah.
However, the responses that from those incidents, I think were performed well just from the reports we received. But there's some incidences where we could be getting a lot more information on. For example, the last graduation, there was an individual that went to Durfee with a firearm, and he was asked to. I'm not sure if it was we never got much information. That's a whole other issue.
Sure.
That's one of the biggest issues I have right now.
Yeah.
With the administration is the communications and what we receive.
Transparency, right?
For exactly.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know what we never even heard about this until I inadvertently asked a question about an incident like 2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out there was an individual with a firearm, but he was he can't go in a firearm with
Yeah, right. So no gun zone. Yeah, gun free zone.
So incidents like that.
Is it one of these things that nothing happened, so we're not going to talk about it?
Yes, that's
exactly that's 1,000,000% the answer.
I get a question. So in an instance, what is the procedure? So when let's say Diamond, Durfee, whatever, right? Superintendent gets notified first of a situation like that. What's the procedure?
Oh, the procedure again. I would
outside
know
of the school. Outside of the school, who's next to be notified of a situation? Who's
you're talking about the procedure just for notification?
Yeah, like
it would go to the superintendent,
and then it's his or hers.
It would be Tracy Curley then to give that information to the school committee.
Okay,
whatever, and that's the way with any adverse situation.
It sounds like
we're supposed to be notified of any like issues that happen in the schools.
Yeah,
and it's sometimes unfortunate, and I could think of a number of times where we find out about an incident after the fact. For an example, and then it's not even just with safety, but with finance. I know we're just talking about before, and I know Mr. Aguiar really brought up this issue and brought it up well with healthcare. Mm-hmm. We have an issue of getting the information until like the last minute with many things. So like we're still, Mr. Aguiar, myself, we're still waiting for information on that, trying to figure out how we got to that point of the situation with the healthcare.
Yeah.
It looks like, from my understanding, it's more on the city. So basically, long story short, and I'll double check this just to make sure. So I'm just going to simplify it. When the city pays for or covers much of the health, there's an indirect cost agreement between the school department and the city, and it gets a little bit murky on what's covered as net school spending and what's not. For example, SROs are paid through by the city, even though they work in the school. Crossing guards are paid through the city, even though they really help out the schools. Healthcare gets a little bit more murky. Transportation is paid through the city, directly through the taxpayers, even though it's transporting through the school. Mm-hmm. And that's an issue I also like to bring up with transportation, why and I don't mean to go off track. So, cause that's a question I receive a lot from residents in this community. So the issue with healthcare, with transportation is we're supposed to fund, the state is supposed to fund that at 100%. Mm-hmm. So it's a mandate because the state has certain requirements around transportation of pupils to and from school. Mm-hmm. And because that's a mandate, by law, they're supposed to provide the funding for the transportation, which is not funded at 100%. It's underfunded, which makes it an unfunded mandate. Okay. So last year, I pushed for this, the school committee passed, asked the city council to file what's called what's the exact word? An unfunded mandate petition with the state auditor, which would get basically, if it goes in our favor, we receive a determination letter, would open up a lot more avenues for funding to come in through the city, and that would help alleviate the burden. That's money that comes directly from the taxpayers of the city, and we can alleviate some of that burden on them. When this came forward, school committee unanimously, I know a lot of individuals say the school committee argues a lot, and sometimes we do. Right. However, that was one we came in unison, went to the city council for them to file, and it was referred to corporation council, and we still haven't heard back since. So that's one issue I'm really going to be tackling this year, because I think that's the one way that we can help with the transportation issue and at the same time help city taxpayers, which I think is what we all want.
You guys want to take a call?
Yeah.
Let's do it. How about it, Haley? How are you?
Hi, it's Haley.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Haley. How are you guys?
You're
sorry, I missed you.
And
Yes,
look,
I do remember calling. I'm sorry, I'm on break. I'm on break right now. I was supposed to be with you guys
Oh,
tonight.
I remember. Yes, that's right. We worked. How are you, Haley?
Good. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
How's everything going?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. Congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
win.
Appreciate that.
You're
Thank
welcome. Good. How are you doing? Good.
Yeah. No, how has everything been with you?
Everything's been good. How's your uncle doing?
He's doing a lot better. He's definitely I would say like just seeing him, he's a lot better than he was last week, and last week he was a lot better than he was the last week. So I think he's recovering.
Well, that's good.
great. Do you have a question for him?
Yeah, Colin, what are your plans to do for this school year?
Yeah, on the school department level, and I apologize if it sounds a little bit technical. I'd say first and foremost, we need to do what we need to do is address some policies. Go right down. We have many outdated policies just from when we were kids in 2010 that need to be addressed. So that's one. Two, one I just mentioned is, again, to try and help the taxpayers. We need to really address transportation and address the indirect cost agreement that we have with the city and see how we can, again, help the city and also try and bring the cost down on transportation, and which I think we can do with advocating with the state and doing some things like that as well. And really just continue, I guess for myself, it's just continuing what I've been doing is speak with parents whenever I can if they have an issue or concern they wish to bring forward, and just try and help people. I think that's what we need to do there. And again, just work with the committee. Two more things as well. There was I'll send you this report, Bobby. I did send it to the Fall River Reporter, and I think they're going to do a story on it. Mm-hmm. There was a report that highlighted many issues within facilities.
Thanks for calling in, Haley. We're going to move on, but thank you for listening, okay? Thank you. All right, go ahead.
And HR.
This projection is for this year, Mr.
My bad.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's a really good video.
I got the next one up. I got it logged up. Go ahead.
So there was a report within facilities and HR, which highlighted many different issues in terms of how investigations are handled, in terms of finances and asset management within facilities. So my position, and I said this at the meeting, Mr. Aguiar's not voting for any new raises until we have a new school committee. I concur with that, and I'm also personally not voting for any contracts for HR and facilities until we have a new school committee and we can have the appropriate oversight.
Amazing. I like that.
And
I like
again,
that.
what needs to really happen is we need some audits. And and I know people like to throw out audit this, audit that, but we have specific reasons for why we need audits. For HR, we've received many different complaints. There was a lawsuit filed against the Fall River Public Schools as well, with many different HR concerns as well.
And there's another one coming up as well that I board on. We had the $10 million one, I believe, and there's another one that's come up as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, when Boomer was on the last episode, I get no details. I don't want to get ahead of it. But
we've received many different complaints, many different reports highlighting illegal overtime use, misuse of school department equipment, misuse of funding, investigations not being properly handled. Incredible investigations as well that outside investigators have already deemed these complaints to be made credible. Wow. So there needs to be in HR and facilities comprehensive audits to see where our money's been going there.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll be calling for in the beginning, and we will follow it from there.
Do you think it's fair to say it's a lot of complacency, right? So
yes,
just a lot of stuff going everywhere, and nobody's keeping track of anything that's going on. I'd hate to think that a lot of this is just.
I think I don't mean to interrupt you, Bobby.
Please.
I think the issue is poor leadership at the top, and that's what needs to be addressed first.
Yeah.
And
at the top of what?
The school department. And that starts with the superintendent.
Superintendent, yes.
Who is it again?
Our superintendent currently is Tracy Curley.
Yes.
And again, that's not
Never heard of it.
Well, just so people know, that was a mayoral decision, right? At the end of the day, it was kind of like a.
It wasn't unofficially.
Unofficially,
my opinion
yes.
is
I mean,
it
let's
was
just
a
call
mayoral-
it what it is.
A
I mean,
mayoral
wait,
decision.
wait.
In the way, and just to go back.
Yeah,
and-
because I think Anna would have. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Right, and just to go back just to that, because a lot of this ties into it. So if you go back, and I don't know if you talked to this about Kevin. Kevin talked about this.
He did mention.
The process was flawed. So first of all, the mayor himself.
So just so the audience knows, we're talking about the appointment of the superintendent of schools.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's not a voting thing. It's an appointment. It's
voted. It's voted. It's supposed to be voted on by the school.
Let him.
I'll explain.
Because I know
I'll
some
explain.
things are appointed.
Exactly. Yeah, check this out.
Like parks and.
Yes. No, I'll explain in detail. Well, yeah. So, as I was saying before, Maria Ponce resigned, or announced her resignation. There's a process for the end of the year. There's a process to pick a new superintendent. School committee votes to employ the services of the Massachusetts Association of School Committees, which is another issue I'll talk about after, to help with the superintendent search. So what happens is the mayor decides to create his own a subcommittee, which again, this violates school committee policy. You can't just create your own advisory committee to advise a school committee without a vote of the school committee. He appoints all the members. Again, some of these individuals, and that's not to say the individuals that were appointed are
Right.
but it's just a point that he.
It just worked out.
I do what I want.
It went against, but it's just a point. It went against policy.
Sure.
And they went through a superintendent search process, this advisory committee, with the help of the MASC. They have 4 individuals that they recommend, one being Tracy Curley, one being Anna Riley, and 2 other individuals as well. I believe the superintendent of Middleborough and another gentleman. I don't even remember his name. So you have those individuals who are recommended by the search committee to come before the entire committee. And the committee at the time chose Tracy Curley. And even though there was more, the resume for Anna Riley was a lot more extensive. She was superintendent of the year, as we know.
She was
in
also
Rhode Island.
She was doing double duty, right, as a principal.
I don't even know that, but again, the record's extensive.
Yes,
Obviously, very
there was
well
a lot.
qualified.
She was doing a
individual.
lot. She was doing a lot.
And that's why Dr. Rodericks, I believe, resigned as well, because this is the way the process played out, and that rubbed people the wrong way, obviously. And
Well, those who knew, like the layman's, we didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, I'm a lame. I have no
We
idea.
had no idea.
And that's another issue as well. I think as an issue with local media, I think sometimes we need to do a better job at getting information out there. But
Sure.
I'm not.
Anytime you want, Mike. Me casa su casa, brother.
I will.
Yep.
No, definitely.
Definitely.
So that's the process in the nutshell. It was I believe it was originally a 4-3 vote, and then Sarah resigned. Dr. Rodericks resigned, and then I think Bobby ended up voting for. So it ended up being like 5 or 6-1. It was just Kevin, Mr. Aguiar and Dr. Rodericks voted for Anna Riley, which I would have, if I were on the committee at the time as well, I would have voted for Miss Riley as well, or Dr. Riley.
Everyone I've spoken to said the same thing. But go ahead.
Right, and so, but again, so then Dr. Rodericks resigns. I come on, and we have Tracy Curley as a superintendent, and we have gone on from there.
And it's been what it is. And again,
It's been what it is. Yes.
And I'll say this, and I'll give him credit. Boomer has been saying a lot of these things, right? And he actually, I'm going to play a clip for us if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And he's been. It's funny because someone shared this with me privately, and then I watched it. And credit to the Fall River Reporter, it's his video. And so let me just lower this real quick. Wow. Yeah, we don't want Joy.
There's one thing that.
So I have it right here. So when I listened to it and I played it, the first time I heard it, there's a lot of conversation there that I'm like, well, I don't really understand what he's saying because there's a lot of ways to move money around, right? And so I'm trying to figure out.
I'm still trying to understand it.
Right.
Again, Mr. Aguiar's been in this for years,
Yes.
so
Yes.
he explained
He's
it
masterful.
to me.
He's masterful at it. He is. So I'm going to play this clip, and I know you were in attendance there as well. This is the most recent city council meeting, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this real quick.
School committee?
School committee meeting. I'm sorry, my bad. All right, here we go.
Projection is for this year, Mr. Aguirre. This is for FY26. So you asked for an update.
Yeah, I understand
For this year.
that. We haven't received anything that indicates how the hell did we go $5 million
Bobby, can I
over net school spending on
I was
healthcare?
wondering if I can
Sure.
kind of just like at like certain points
100%.
like kind of Monday morning quarter
Yes,
kind of
yes.
decipher
I
a
would
little bit.
love for you to do that.
Yeah, so it's right there.
Yep.
So you see you hear that theme a lot. We haven't received anything. We haven't received anything. We haven't received anything. This is a common theme with this current administration, with the superintendent, which I hope changes next month, where school committee members ask for information, provide the information. It's that simple.
Right.
But so again, so people should watch the school committee meeting. I encourage the public, watch the next school committee meeting and tally down how many times you hear a school committee member say, I asked for this information, I haven't received it. It would blow your mind. It's ridiculous. But again, that's why a majority that wants advocacy is so important.
Yes.
And that's why this election was very important. But sorry, continue.
Okay.
Other than a straight number and said the city took care of it, and thank you very much. Short of that, we haven't received anything, as far as I've seen, that says, how did we go over that amount, and that we're not going to go over that amount now? Do you understand what?
So yeah, you heard it again. So I mean, you could play a little bit of it, but so basically, we went over the amount. We had no idea about this until the budget report. So we're all blindsided.
Mm-hmm. And who's that presenting the report?
Kevin Almeida, he's our CFO.
Okay.
Of the school department.
Yeah, and I don't want to feel bad for the guy, but I almost felt bad for the guy because he had a piece of paper inserted in like a plastic, and that's what he was reporting with. Like, and I'm like, really? Is that the best we can do? That's what you got? Like, so I'm gonna come to you with a $5 million deficit, and I'll be like, hey, here you go. So I got. Like, anyway.
You'd be
Concern is?
Yes.
And I can see what this projection is. What I asked the superintendent for, which I'm sure is coming, is these documents for each month last year, so we can figure out how did we get to the point of being $5 million.
So there's monthly
We didn't just reduce-
budget reports specifically for healthcare, and that's what he was asking for. So at some point, we suddenly just went $5 million over. And again, this comes out of the city side. The city paid this. So the CFO, Emily Arpke, went before the city council a few months prior, asked for a transfer, and didn't explain the reason why, or didn't fully explain the reason why. So this is coming out of the taxpayers of the city of Fall River. School department wise, it was paid for out of the budget. So we were covered. We went a little over 100%.
That would be the
net
special
school
needs
spending.
budget. It comes out of the special needs budget.
Yeah, it comes out of special education.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate, but again, it was paid for. It didn't hurt anything. In special
No,
education
right, but
because the city paid for
Exactly,
it. But
exactly.
It's more of the you got to communicate to the public. And
Right,
again,
right.
I don't know why it wasn't mentioned. I understand we just had an election. Who did that have anything to do with it?
Maybe.
It cost by $5 million, I guess, is my struggle.
Correct.
So how? Other than hope, how? Like, how is it that we are at the
love that
point
guy.
where, what's the number in order for the city to be at net school spending right now at 100%? What is their number that they're going to pay in order to be just at 100%? What is their number on healthcare
For this year, it's
for the current year that we're in?
$30 million, the number that's there.
And that was the number that was budgeted when we passed our budget July 1
For this year, yes.
for $30 million.
Yes.
And they spent $30 million last year,
Yep.
which was $5 million more than what was originally budgeted. So when we passed our budget July 1st, you're telling me that they increased the budget by $5 million to be at 100% in net school spending?
What we've talked about and what we weren't getting credit for before were the reimbursements that you see at the bottom. And so the reimbursements at the bottom net out the number to $29.9 million. And that's part of what we've been discussing as part of the
He's right the first
indirect
time.
cost agreement, that we should be getting those credits that the city's getting. And so with that, we are under budget.
So we really went over by 5 million?
With the new method, we would not have been over by the 5 million last
And
year.
why
yes.
was this new method not told to the committee, or what is that? Like over the
It
years?
was never something that was never communicated to us. I was not able to see the revenue side of things.
How is that acceptable?
Who's the guy answering the questions?
Kevin.
Answering the question, yeah, they're both named Kevin.
Yeah.
That's Kevin Almeida. He's the CFO of the school department.
Okay.
What I'm suspecting, and seeing when he said how he wasn't able to see the city numbers and the and I think something similar was said how I think there was a miscommunication between both CFO of the city and the CFO of the school department. Don't forget, you had a turnover there. You had Bridget Alman originally. She, I believe, resigned or went to another position, and we had some influx. And I think that's why it's really important to keep your position staffed. Having this influx of city administrators coming in and out, CFOs coming in and out, having interims, and not having really permanent structure there.
Right? There's no consistency, right?
Exactly.
Right,
I think there's no consistency, and the communication and the plans might change as well. Which I think if you watch the budget hearing with the city council, I think you saw a lot of that. So I think some of this came down to the changing of inconsistent planning and lack of communication between the city and the school department. So, and you'll see it at the end of the video. That's why I asked we usually have a joint meeting once a year. We need to have one sooner than that.
Sure.
I think in January with the new committee, just so we can get some clarification on the healthcare going into this year and the and as I said, the indirect cost agreement, which again covers a lot of different again the SROs covers SROs, it covers crossing guards, and covers different things such as that. So.
And the trust fund, and in full transparency, we, working with the treasurer, it was determined that we really should be getting those reimbursements.
We've never got those reimbursements ever.
Previously, no.
So for years, if we did take these, they've been not giving us $5 million a year. For how many years has that happened?
I couldn't tell you, Mr. Aguirre.
And we still do claims?
I'm sorry?
So when we do the 100% of net school spending forecast,
Yep.
we still do claims at the end, like it's the actual claims of how much
Yes.
it's costing our people.
Yes, we do.
So you're telling me that at that time, we never took all these years?
And I think sometimes in general, sometimes we talk with I don't know if the word's jargon, but we kind of sometimes say language that
words.
And I'm still trying to understand as well. But my understanding is that the claim is like the actual claims that people like. We go by the claims. Like if you're sick, you file a claim. That's what we go by. So just so if anyone had a question on that.
Never took $2 million off grant reimbursements.
Well, last year, so I can tell you that the revenue last year was higher than the normal. But no, we never got credit for that in the past.
So when we have these documents, it's never said grant reimbursements to try to net out the money?
Just grant reimbursements. It's never those other.
Okay, so the top one, because I recall seeing that myself.
That's always there.
Max or rebates, 2.1 million. Is that for some prescriptions?
Yes.
So we never got anything, and nobody on our side picked it. But we got these documents that look like this.
This is what I prepared.
Oh, you prepared. It's not that.
And this was
Gallagher doesn't give us something like that.
No, this was after our meeting with the city.
So, who knew on the city side that we were getting these reimbursements and not getting any credit for it? So therefore, the city was under net school spending by X amount of dollars. Like, who knew?
They would have known. The city would have known.
And they just.
Who is he referring to when he says the city would have known?
He's referring to the finance team. I'm assuming he means the CFO, the treasurer, the auditor, the central team, possibly. See, that's the thing too. I'm glad you brought that up because that's very. And if I were to go back at that meeting, I would have clarified that. But I don't know. I don't want to play Monday morning quarterback, but. That is a really good question, like trying to determine exactly who, but he's referring to the finance team. But I'd also like to know if that means the mayor's office knows if like just not even just just to say, are you, Mr. Mayor, receiving like all the
Yeah,
like,
right, right. Are you
the
guilty by
information?
omission? Like, do you know this information? You're not sharing this information?
No, I wasn't even going with that. I mean, that could be it,
Yeah,
but
right.
I was also going with: are you getting the proper information from
Right,
your?
or do you not even know? Right,
Yeah.
which, and I think in both cases they're not good. Right, in either
No.
case, one you should know, and two, if you know, you're not saying anything. Not good in either case.
No,
Like,
and I had a similar incident with the city when it came to current with the Pace Center. As we just discussed them before, Pace Center is going to. We have the auditorium, the Eagle Auditorium in there, and we also have the Pace Center. We're also going to be using that for preschool classrooms. So there's an issue with the roof, and they're using the ARPA money still to this day to fix the roof. We've heard from the city, from the opera director Kara Hum, during our city council meeting, that there's going to be more than just the roof, that they're going to be fixing some classrooms. And when we have a classroom size crisis in the district right now, we have classroom sizes that are over capacity at many different schools.
which is why it's critical the role that you play today,
It's-
right?
Right. It's very critical that we find spaces wherever we can. So it's important that we find out what classrooms are getting renovated, how many we can open up in the next year, FY27, FY28, FY29, without having to go to like a new school or renting out more property.
Right, right.
Just using the property we already have. So they came before the so there was an update during a prior meeting. This was over the summer, and I didn't like the response I got from the mayor. I thought we could have got more. Just from the fact I don't think there's enough information provided.
Right.
So that's just one example. So I just wanted to show you that there's a pattern,
Sure.
a long pattern
Yeah.
of
I
inconsistent
was going to say the same
information.
thing. I see patterns. Yeah, I do.
Where's this Pace? Is that
Silent,
the,
even
Sorry,
though
buddy.
Nagel Auditorium.
Is that the where is it?
Nagel Auditorium.
Oh, Derby.
Yes. We still have the auditorium.
Auditorium
Yeah.
is turning into a.
No, the auditorium is staying how it is. There's still some classrooms, like, and some built like space around it.
Oh, around the we should be like
Yes.
woodworking and all that. Yeah,
No, that auditorium's staying. That auditorium's actually very valuable. I just
Yeah.
actually just talked to someone from the Army band who gave me the whole rundown on how that auditorium is very useful, and like there's certain characteristics about it that, and I can get you the exact
Well, it's
but
historical.
there's historical characteristics about it that shouldn't be touched. So
Wow, it's like a monument, right?
Yeah.
All right.
they had to pay us 1.9, 3.5. I'm really having a struggle with this stop-loss reimbursement, $2 million. We've had stop-loss reimbursement on our paperwork for healthcare since I've been on this committee for 20 years, and I've seen that.
What is stop loss reimbursement?
I'm gonna get you the exact definition.
Yeah, because I hear it, and like I want to know what that is because I think it's very important to what he's getting to, the point he's trying to get to.
For 20 years. Now we're saying we didn't know that it was $2 million?
I'm telling you that the numbers weren't as high in the past, and that that's something that we talked about that really we should be getting credit for as part of this.
Right, well, to be fair, I've said this in public meetings over and over. In order to be fair, 100% of net school spending is net.
Correct.
Like the city gets a Medicaid reimbursement over $1 million and we get zero, but it comes out of the special ed budget. So technically speaking, the city isn't necessarily funding us at 100% because they don't net off the Medicaid. You're telling me they didn't net out
If I can
$4 or
just
$5 million.
quickly explain,
Sure.
It's basically like the deductive, like the number. If like the loss goes over the deductible, you have insurance for that.
Oh, okay.
So that's a long story.
So you would get reimbursed on that loss to a percentage of that. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, all right.
But then we get told that they're $5 million over net school spending. How the hell does that happen? When we send the end of the year report, who signs off on that to say that we're that much over? So we're not $5 million over.
We wouldn't be with this, using this.
We shouldn't be, because it's common sense. If you're getting reimbursed this money, what is this, like this new girl that comes down to City Hall to say that the Ozempic went up, so that's why we're out $5 million? So she comes out with that nonsense, and really, it was $4 million? And we're being told, oh, it's $5 million over? Like, nobody else has any concern about this? We're told one thing to millions of dollars, and it's just, oh, okay, we're sorry, we're over. Never mind the fact that it's probably something similar with the other piece of being over for pensions. I didn't even ask about that, but this is something that is just, it's perplexing to me to say, how are we here? Now we're saying, I'm glad you're being honest and telling me something's going on that it wasn't.
I have nothing to lie about, Mr.
Right, I'm just saying that I've been asking for months now, since the
There it is.
And
interim CFO went to the city hall.
I'm telling you now what
Yep.
I'm aware of. That's
And I appreciate you getting that information. But it's disheartening to sit down and watch a city council meeting when we have an interim CFO come before the city council, start telling us it's because everybody's taking Ozempic, that's why the costs are going up, and then doesn't tell the city council that we're going to be over by $5 million, but then all of a sudden comes out they're over $5 million. So now we're wondering, at least I am, what in the heck's going on here? There's got to be something here. I've said this over and over. Now we find out, oh yeah, there was something going on. When it's convenient, they just say, we didn't tell you about this reimbursement, so we don't net it out. I don't know how anybody can sit on this stage or the city council and have any faith in the city doing anything with the healthcare, because this is quite honestly unacceptable. So I will await all the information from the superintendent that I asked for earlier, because obviously something was going on. And guess what? Something was going on, and it's millions of dollars difference. With that, I yield.
And if you watch the city council meeting when Councilor Ponte really hammered on that issue, try with the follow up on to get the answer on the city side, I felt like there was some
Shenanigans.
I just felt like the answer was there was no straight answer. There was absolutely no straight.
Yeah,
answer.
when there's a straight answer, like immediately my brain goes to shenanigans. Like, why aren't you just being upfront with me? If you tell me the truth, if you tell me what happened, then we can find a solution to that. But what I think a lot of it, Colin, I don't think they know. I think it's just they don't know, right? I mean, maybe some of them know, but I mean, a lot of them don't.
Jordan Sylvia.
A lot of them don't know. You know what I mean? Oh, the show just took a turn for the worse.
Oh no, let him on. Please,
You sure? All right, I'll do it.
Oh,
I'll do
shit.
it. Only because I love him. Jordan Sylvia, welcome to the show, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
How you doing?
How are you?
Can you guys hear me good?
Loud and clear,
No,
bro. We got
nobody
Colin,
can hear
Loco, and you got Jody on the
Who
boards,
is this
brother.
guy?
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry for you guys. You can actually hear me. What's up? Loco, what's up, buddy?
What up? What up?
How are you?
Oh, and Jody, my man.
Yeah, he's.
Dude, I had some crazy echo. Hold on.
What's
Yeah,
up,
it's
my
because you
guy?
have you must have your Facebook still on. Shut
Yeah, I
that up.
just shut it.
Don't you know when you call a radio station, you're supposed to shut the radio off? That's like Radio 101.
I'm trying
Didn't you ever-
to shut
didn't you ever
everything
call
but
in
you
on
guys.
Friday nights and you didn't call a request in for Jen?
No, I'm like a slow person. I have 500 apps running on my phone in the
You
background.
never called WSAR?
Right? Didn't you call WSAI? Don't you know you have to have the...
I think we need to cut him off now.
I heard he's banned from there.
What are you doing over there?
Gee, what's up with this? Something's going on.
Look, either you're playing with
This
your
is
phone,
awful.
you're in the McDonald's drive-thru. Like, I'm starting to get a complex here.
Dude, I'm working like a slave right now.
I know you are. Listen, can I say something real quick? I mean, I don't want to take the energy out of the show here, but I'm gonna. I had the pleasure of working with your family on Tuesday. I spent the whole day there, and can I tell you, brother? Like, they are fierce. You have an army. You have raised an army. They are unstoppable and amazing, bro. Amazing, dude. I've never seen kids working so hard and determined, bro. Like it was just amazing.
Oh, you guys were putting them to work hardcore too,
Yes.
bro.
You got to understand.
You
too.
were like, can I get a pizza? You're like, all right, give me 20 pizzas. All right, I'm coming back 2 minutes. Give me 20 more.
That's exactly what it was, dude. You're not even exaggerating. We did 78 pizzas, was it? 78?
You should have seen Bobby. He was just sitting there watching them drinking Coke and stuff.
That was it. Did
Yeah.
nothing.
But seriously though, I think the work you and your
Bro.
shop did on Veterans Day was phenomenal.
What?
Yeah, I was working.
Yeah.
He was working.
Do we have your?
Dude,
What are you doing? Are you watching?
Hey.
this? Do we have your attention? I don't feel like we have your attention.
No, I'm working, Bobby. I'm working like a slave. I'm at a house in Rhode Island, dude. It's nuts.
All right. Well, give me
Hold
30.
on.
Give me 30 seconds of your undivided attention because I got.
Let me
Colin
do
here.
this, Bobby. Hold on. Let me see. I'm just trying to find.
Welcome to the show.
I know, right? It's the
Jordan.
Jordan
Trying to
show.
get rid of this delay. I'm telling you. Let me call you right back.
Yeah,
back.
sure. Call me back.
Were you just
Call you right back. 1 sec. Bye-bye.
were we just admitting to child labor? at Florentina, child labor.
Dude, they work hard over there.
Yeah?
They do. They work hard over there. Yeah, it's good. Child labor is good, dude.
Child labor is-
Hey, I was 13 years old. Like my first job was CETA. I worked for the city.
My first job was for the country club. I was like 16. I was a
For a country club.
My first
Jordan
job was
Sylvia.
community service.
Should I give him another shot here? Should I give him one more shot?
Yeah.
All right. Only because Colin said so. All right.
No wonder why WSARB.
All right, buddy. We got you back. We got you back, buddy.
All right, let's see if it does this again.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
I'm telling you, Bobby, it's on your end. I have every app closed,
Yeah,
and I'm just hearing a
I can't
15-second delay.
Yeah, I have. Dude, you sure your Facebook is closed?
I swear to God,
Yeah, 'cause I hear
everything is
nothing,
off.
right? Everybody's good here. I've had a couple of
That's
calls
all right.
already. Yeah. I'm not sure, buddy.
That's okay. Hey, real quick, bro.
Okay.
I appreciate the kind words about the pizza place. You know, yeah, it's definitely like it's a mad delay on me. It repeats everything I'm saying in every 10 seconds. But listen, Colin Dias, had I known Colin was going to be there, I would have called earlier. But that kid has my respect so much, bro. Of all the politicians in Fall River, he knows how I feel about him. I just love the kid, and he's trying to get financial literacy brought to the kids in Fall River. And I've been saying that will be the one game changer that will fix the city.
Yes, to what he's referring to, what Jordan's referring to is superintendent is considering. Oh, I apologize. The superintendent is considering bringing on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I know Jordan's been advocating for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. They should all read that. I've read it. He actually, when he came into the studio, he brought me a copy, which is always great to get something like that. But that's an amazing book, and I think we should. I think that should be something that, look, again, I keep saying it. Give children an opportunity to know what's out there. If they don't know that these are opportunities, if they don't know, listen. I wish, and you know, it was a different world for me, right? I lived in a world where we were told work. Go to work, like even in some cases, quit school and go to work. Like, but it was the textile industry. Like everybody was making a lot of money with Quaker Fabric and Swan Finishing, and like there was all these factories, so the jobs were there. As time goes on, a lot of those jobs, Quaker Fabric leaves, right? There's no more Quaker Fabric. You have all these positions that are gone, and now people are kind of just sitting there going, well, what do I do now? So I just think if you're giving the children an opportunity to do other things other than just grabbing jobs that are available and inspiring them to say, hey, you know what? I can be a musician. I can be a chef.
Bobby, the only thing worse than not getting an education is getting a bad education. And I know that's going to piss off a lot of people, but I think that's what we're doing in Fall River.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of it, again, having a new school committee in place, having a lot of younger minds in place, you know, and then you having, you know, the people with experience like Kevin. I think all of this together, I think we positions us in the best way possible at this point, right? Like where we are right now. I you know, I can't say that everything always works out the way you want it to, but I'm very optimistic that the people are in place now, you know, have our kids' best interest in mind, and you know, I think they're worthy of an opportunity to like again. Like
How
Kevin,
about this? Bro, how about this? You're assuming the people making the decisions even have the capacity, right? Mm-hmm. Like my thing is like, show me the results. Show me you have financial literacy success in your life. Mm-hmm. Then I'll start to think you even know what you're talking about. And I'm talking about the people who run the schools. Mm-hmm. Paul Coogan himself.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, again, when we talk about establishment, long-term establishment, I think things just become normal. Like it's just done this way, and you're doing it this way for so long that it becomes normal. You know what I mean? And now we realize that these are the consequences of doing those things that way. And now we're looking going, wow, where did all this money go? And why do we have all these lawsuits? And what do you mean there's sexual assault in the schools? Like these are things that are beyond acceptable. Like we shouldn't even, right? You know what I mean?
They haven't even, this lawsuit, and I'll be completely honest, the $10 million lawsuit, we've had zero conversations about that lawsuut. The mayor won't let it happen. Wow. The administration won't let us talk about it. And that needs to that's the type of nonsense that needs to change.
Right. But see, in that, and just kind of talking about the establishment, there are people involved in that lawsuit that would make him not want to talk about it, right? And I think that's part of the problem. And again, I'm not calling anybody out.
Is this still the asbestos one, or is this
no? This is a sexual assault allegation.
I thought that.
The freak-offs.
Yeah.
Loco, the Diddy freak-offs.
Oh yeah, get that baby oil.
And there were some names there. There were some people that are named in that lawsuit. That it's a huge
Guys, let me Bobby, let me end on this one thing real quick. What's going to happen? We're going to get normal people that don't go to those meetings. The last meeting I went to when I saw Colin, the night his poor uncle got attacked, there was nobody from the public there. There was a couple candidates for school committee and a bunch of people who work there. I say a bunch, there was like 10 people total in that whole auditorium. We're going to fill up those auditoriums of regular people, and we're going to steamroll all the politicians and force them to do what we want them to do. That's the only way it gets thick, bro.
Yeah. Well, and I think if we get the right people in place, they're going to want to come along, bro. And it's not so much having to force them.
Yeah, as long as we're fighting for the right thing, people will come along.
100%, dude. I believe that whole.
I love you, brother. I'm going to let you guys go and listen on Facebook. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Colin, I love you to death. Loco, I love your antics too, buddy.
Yeah,
I want to talk to you soon.
We need a special pizza.
Later, guys.
Shop. We got to call it your boy Loco.
And
special.
Jody, I'm seeing Jody at my house this weekend. He's coming over.
Oh boy. Oh, there it is.
Later, guys.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Listen,
Peace out.
can I segue into something that got mulled over, and you're really good at your job, so I'm just letting you do your thing. And so we were talking before about monies, and I'm be honest, I'm just drinking this tequila. I'm fucking lost. I don't even know what the money's.
Okay.
The 5 millions and this and that. But I did hear something that I know very well, Ozempic. I heard that over and over again. So what is this? We spent money on Ozempic in Fall River?
I think that's what I actually don't know. That's one of the things I'm trying to figure out from the city side is what we've done. So, again, the city, that's something that the city pays for or pays most of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's even though the school department, a lot of it's paid through the city. That's why through the indirect cost agreement. I know it gets convoluted. And I'm still trying to learn much of it myself. But like I said, there's certain things that the city pays for that you would think or make the argument one way or the other that it should be something that the school should directly pay for. Right. And as I mentioned before, the SROs in the schools, crossing guards, and I can send you the list. I have it on my phone. The actual agreement hasn't been updated since 2018. So that's one thing that needs to be addressed. That's one of the things I said for year one with the new school committee that we need to renegotiate with the city.
Colin, who paid for the Ozempic?
The taxpayers.
And who took the Ozempic?
Students.
What?
No.
Hey.
No,
what? I just want like 6 months worth. I got a little bit of a.
I'm messing with you, bro.
I heard Ozempic. I didn't. What?
It was just an example. You know what?
Let him answer.
I think
the city paid for Ozempic.
I think it's to help with because you don't have to pay for other issues. Like if you have like a weight issue.
Yes. It's a health concern, so it's actually used as a medicine. In some cases, the city will help. It will help.
Where?
What do you mean where?
What do you mean where? Who? The city's buying Ozempic.
Yeah,
it's a health insurance plan. They cover the cover
employees.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
It's part of the health plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
again, the idea, I guess, dude, the idea is what they're saying is should it be part of the health plan? I guess that's the argument. But in my case, look, if you can help people lose weight and if that's what it takes, I think it's cheaper to pay for the Ozempic than it is to pay for your cardiovascular.
Yeah. That's the thought process.
I guess, right?
Have to pay for something.
I guess that's.
We don't, because it's a city line item, we don't really get much of that. That's why Mr. Aguilar really requested that update, just so we can find out how we were given $5 million extra dollars.
Well, let's throw this out there. I don't know. Let's say, let's say $5 million for Ozempic. I know that's not a number, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
How much are we spending for actually like good food? Because when I went to school,
nutrition, right?
Yeah,
that's a good point. I like that, Colin.
Things like that. This is crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like there should be nutrition in schools, and I know
okay, Ozempic. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
I hung out with a guy whose name was Fat Joe. Now he's Skinny Joe. So
And he'll live longer. He's going to live longer.
Maybe we don't know what the effects of Ozempic, but no, but it's just crazy to me that you got these other countries where they go to the cafeteria and they're eating better than I do.
I went to Japan,
France,
in 24. So much different.
The school systems, and we're eating the most processed garbage. Like when I asked my kid what he got from school, I got a bologna sandwich and tater tots. I'm like, what the hell? What are you in Dartmouth House of Correction? Like, it's
I think it's a state of evolution. When I say a state of evolution, I think, as time goes on, we learn. You know what I mean? Like, what we knew in the 60s, we thought was good. Like, doctors were prescribing cigarettes in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s. And now, obviously, we know better. Like, it's not really good for you. And I think, much like the schools, it becomes a process of just providing something as opposed to saying, hey, this milk, is this healthy for the child? Or are we just giving them milk, right?
Yeah, no, and definitely I recommend to parents if your child tells you something about the meals, if there's like unprocessed food or undercooked food, please make sure you report that to the appropriate individuals to take care of that.
Colin, how does that work now? Where does the food come from? Is there an organization that we hired?
Winston's.
Okay.
Yes.
And they're contracted to provide us with food for all our schools. I didn't know that. Did you?
What
know
did
that?
he say? Worcester?
Winston's.
Winston's.
Horrible.
Winston's culinary group.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Are they horrible? I don't know. I've never eaten the food.
In the school
have you eaten the food in schools? You can have an opinion if you've eaten it. Have you eaten it?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't eaten. Dude, you know how much it's
but
wild?
it's still bad.
I know you're 22, bro.
I
but-
have a kid in high school, and he tells me the school's disgusting. The food's,
That's different.
He goes to Diamond.
Yeah.
Shout out Diamond, great school, but the food is ridiculous.
Oh, Diamond! I don't know if they could be.
That's different, I think.
Yeah, they could. No, they could be with Diamond. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because it's vocational, it's different.
It's a different budget,
It's a
right?
different school system.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
It's like state, right? State? Is it state?
It's a regional school district. So
Because Kevin mentioned it. Because you can't. Did you know this? You can't offer the same programs in Durfee that you
Yes.
do in Diamond.
just discovered that. So I'll tell you one issue that's coming up that I think the community should know about. There's going to be for the CTE program, our vocational program. There's going to be a straight lottery to enter into the when you enter in, they kind of filter you and see which one you'd be at the starter program to see which shop you'd be best with.
Okay.
That's going to be a lottery. That's not going to be based off of which it kind of
Merits?
was. Yeah.
Not merits.
No, it's not good. No. And I think there could have been a weighted lottery where you take in some merit, and it was a worth having the conversation.
Sure. Do you guys find that? Like, not to cut you off, but are you finding that more students want to attend Diamond than Durfee? Is that always like? Is there always a? So in other words, are there kids? Like, I'm sure is there an overflow of kids that don't make it to Diamond? Right. I guess that's my question.
I think there's definitely kids that don't make it to Diamond because they had higher standards. But this is a state mandate. From DESE that they're redoing this year. We have to redo some of our like the policies around vocational. So that's where that came from. You just brought it up, so that's why I wanted to mention it. This is a segue into another something I hear a lot about. Obviously,
Colin, you're a great interview, by the way. I'm really enjoying this, man. I just want you to know that. Yeah, this is great.
I got some more school stuff for you, so keep going.
So we have our school department budget hundreds of millions of dollars, and our test scores in reading, writing, math, science definitely need to be a lot better. And we discussed that at the last meeting. And the question that I receive is, why are we approving all this money to the schools and we're not getting the best bang for our buck? And they're right. So me as one member, when we received this curriculum that's $2 million, and we look at the data, and the scores are plateaued or they're not improving based off of the investment we're making in the curriculum.
Yeah, you're going to question the curriculum.
I'm just not going to vote for it.
Right.
And again, it comes down a lot of it to accountability, and I think a lot of it also comes down to making sure our educators are taken care of, taken care of. And they feel like they want to be here, create an environment where they want to be here and they want to thrive. I think really goes a long way as well. So, yeah. So no. To your point, there's a few curriculums already where different programs where I'm not going to vote for because, again, the data doesn't show it. And if you're not going to provide the correct answers, I can't vote for something if I don't have like.
Oh, 100%.
I almost look at it like I'm a juror. Almost, you have to meet a reasonable doubt to get my vote for something. That's the way I approach the position.
Sure. Colin, I just want to ask you just a pretend question, right? Just a pretend question. So, like, I'm one that believes that if you give children an opportunity to do what they love most, they typically will take that opportunity. Like, I think they're just drawn to it. They don't even realize it. It takes no effort, right? Like, if you love doing what you're doing, it takes no effort. So, like, when I hear that there are kids that want to get into like a vocational school and there's no room for them, I say to myself, well, much like I didn't know we didn't have a trauma unit in the city. I had no idea until Will had that tragedy happen. It's in New Bedford, and in here we have a population of 100,000 people, right? And how is it that we don't have maybe another vocational school, or maybe it's Diamond number 2, or like realizing that again
they cost money. I
think 100%.
Yeah.
But my point is, I don't know that a liberal arts degree helps anybody. Right. And so I think if you just go through the process and you graduate, then you just graduate. But if you had somebody in a situation where they're like tradesmen and they're doing something with their hands and they're actually learning a trade that will feed them for the rest of their lives, I see the value.
But I feel
in
like Durfee's always had that, though, the trades, right? I mean, it's not the way.
It's been, I feel like it's a lot more now. But I think it's a really important point. And I think if you show interest, you're going to see expansion. I think the CTE program overall is really good, and is something that we cherish as members of the school committee. I think I can speak for most members when I say this.
Yeah.
It's something we want to see expanded and kept around. So
Sure.
I think if there's interest, you're going to see a program expand. Obviously, with Diamond, it's a regional high school, so you have representation. You have members. They have their own school committee where they're actually appointed. I believe 2 or 3 members are appointed by the mayor, and every other town has an elected position where you can run for Diamond School Committee.
Oh wow!
So that's the way that works, and there's different funding formulas for them, and those get intertwined as well. Especially like the charter schools, they take away from the public schools.
Yeah.
You like the charter schools?
I'm not opposed to them. I'm fine with the ones we have now.
Can you get my daughter in? She's starting school
Well,
next
you
year.
know what? I asked Loco to come
he
here
brought
today
it up to me,
because he's exactly the example. So
I'm the guy.
Loco has a young daughter who's going to be entering the school system, right?
Next year.
Next year, and he has a son who's
leaving this year.
So he's got children at bookends, and I really want what a great opportunity to be here and share your experience of what it's been like for you in the school system. I know you Diamond, right? Your son goes to Diamond.
Yeah.
But nonetheless,
Go Bengals.
What's it been like for you, bro? You know what I mean? And like, do you have any apprehension about putting your daughter in the current public school system?
I honestly, I have no complaints with my kids, and it maybe because of my past and how I was the complete wrong model for a student. So I've raised my kids the exact opposite, and they're great kids. So I don't really have any complaints, I guess you could say. But
your daughter's starting with preschool?
Yeah. So she's a November 26th, so she'll be 5. But so because she's
my little cousin had
missed it, she couldn't go this year. So so she'll start next year.
There's like a half. There's actually, speaking of programs, there is a preschool program that the Fall River Public Schools
but
offers.
it's like 2 hours a day or something.
I
like
know, but
you drop them off and then you're picking them up at noon. It's like what was the point?
2 hours, but I get what you're saying.
2-3 hours. Yeah. We were gonna do that, but it was like you should just stay at daycare and but yeah, no. I mean, all right. So we're talking to me. Hi, I'm here. So I got some stuff for you. Boomer had said something.
We'll be seeing in a few minutes.
Yes,
we're going to see
he's downstairs. Yeah, he's downstairs.
Oh, he's coming up here?
No, we're going down.
Wait, what?
We're going downstairs
To see Boomer?
Yeah, he's downstairs in the restaurant.
Oh, all right. No, I didn't know it was. All right. Anyway, so
welcome to the show.
Maybe the guy didn't win because too much of what's wrong and not too much of what's he's going to do. That's my personal opinion. I did vote for the guy. Coogan has done many things for me over the years. I just wanted to see some change. That's just me personally. So one of the things that I like that Boomer said, and I didn't stick to his guns, and I'm going to talk to you since you're in the schools and all of that, is your thoughts on the RPA school.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, when you turned 16, you could get expelled. Nowadays, I think they try to keep you in the school system. But back then, they sent me to what was called the alternative school.
Yes.
And I got kicked out of the Durfee, and then I went to Portsmouth High, where my mother was living in Portsmouth. I got kicked out of there in 3 days. And then I tried to come back I tried to repeat freshman, came back to Fall River. I didn't last in Durfee again. They sent me to alternative. I was in there like 2 days or 1 day, something. And they were in there teaching us 2 + 2 and how to spell cat. And so I wasn't in there long, but from what I got out of the alternative school, which I guess now is called RPA, like Boomer said, I personally think that school, I understand it's a necessity to help those type of students in a different, capacity.
I get where you're going with.
You know what I mean?
I'm excited to answer this too.
Yeah, so I just personally think it's bullshit to separate kids and tell them you're not good enough to be with the rest of the fucking kids. Put them in the same school. That's just my opinion, but I
want to answer this.
I want to know
really
how you feel about it.
No, I agree with you. I personally believe again, this is an ongoing issue with RPA. There is the process to enter RPA has come under a lot of scrutiny, and rightfully so. And my opinion is, just again, from speaking with the administration on this, from seeing presentations, that in my opinion, first I'll start with my opinion. I believe RPA and actual alternative high schools separated from Durfee needs to be limited in capacity, very limited in capacity. Because now my opinion,
when I went to it, it was probably maybe 15 kids in it when I went to it.
It's more now, but it's starting to go down. And rightfully so. I think there are many kids in that school that should be at Durfee, my opinion. And they're there either for mainly attendance issues, which or things like that.
So not more so behavioral.
My reason was behavioral.
Not even just behavioral.
I was gonna say when I was in high school, I graduated in 2018, and there was a lot of people going there for attendance issues.
Exactly, that was ridiculous.
And they were amazing, like people in school, and they still got sent to RPA.
Is that what Boomer was mentioning? Like it was being treated like a prison, like they were punishing.
Yes, I think that was a part of it.
Okay.
But that's one of the main issues. The attendance, you shouldn't be just sent there. And I personally think that was just to keep Durfee's attendance numbers looking higher. But that doesn't address that doesn't address the root cause of why those students aren't attending school. So there's that.
Yep.
And I forgot where I was going with this, but I think now there's different programs that are being offered that start being more hybrid models, like CTE, for example. We could start moving more students into Durfee, and there always needs to be what needs to happen. What I've been advocating for is every student at RPA should, if they choose, have a path to go to Durfee, which they say is yes, back to Durfee if they choose to. Yes.
Okay.
1, 2. Involuntary transfers need to stop. It's a liability, and I promise you when I say that it is a big liability.
What do you mean involuntary transfers?
When you're told, all right, you're going to RPA, no matter what, you have no choice. You have no skin in the game.
That is what happens now, right?
It's a lot less now. So my understanding, exactly. So I've been hearing from parents recently saying, "Oh, my son," for one example, and it was posted on social media. "Oh, my child was on their phone. He was threatened to go get sent to RPA." You can't do that.
Wow.
That's just if that's true.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Right.
It's not what the school was meant for. I think if you either have some sort of felony record or there's a violence, there's a risk of harm, I think RPA in a limited sense is okay for that. Yeah. But I think for most of the students that attend there, I don't see. I personally don't see the need. I think we need to be more inclusive.
How long's it been there? How long's this RPA been there?
That's my old.
Because I remember it being cussed. It was cussed when I remember being cussed.
I was born in 2000, so.
Before then? It's been before then?
I know it's been around for years. I think so.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't there. Yeah, it wasn't there.
Because I went to alternative after.
Because I remember, I never heard about like.
I was young. I was either really young or not even.
It was on
born.
Dwelly Street in the early 2000s.
Okay, so they moved
that
over there.
military or National Guard base over there.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Wow.
What's the graduation or success?
That's funny. That's exactly what
right there. Everybody, because I have a cousin who he's early 20s, so I know he got either kicked out or didn't. He didn't finish high school, but he was in the one that's at Rock Street.
I can get you the exact numbers. They're nowhere near Durfee.
Mm-hmm.
However, I believe I could say this that it has been improved. The graduation rate has improved.
Yeah. And who's in charge of that? Is there like
the principal? It's a school.
So they have their own principal. Yes. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was part of an organization.
Yeah, it used to be Kyle Riley, who I thought did a really good job there.
Okay.
And now it's a new lady, Stacy Monet.
So, but that school is all. I just want to be clear because I don't know. That school is all the bad kids. Is it?
No, it's not. It shouldn't be. No, it's not all the bad kids.
So special needs is not at Durfee. Is it in RPA too?
You're talking about special education? No, that's throughout the district. You do have special. You do have either inclusion sub-separate throughout the entire district. You have classes at Durfee. You have classrooms spaces at Stone. The therapeutic day school is more that's a little bit different. That's more of a therapeutic school. If there's or students get sent to collaboratives.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
A collaborative is a school specifically to help with like either severe behavior or severe medical issues. And so, but that's something we need to crack down on as well. Is we want to definitely help our students in house if we can.
Right.
And I think our assistant superintendent Lori Oberchain, she does really good. Like I'm confident in her leadership in leading that department. Mm-hmm. Definitely, still we have a lot more work to do in terms of increase the numbers there as well, like graduation rates and like the test scores as well.
Sure.
There's some work there, but
so listen, I want to put you on the spot, bro. I'm a sports fanatic, and he mentions the Bengals, right? And Hilltop is kind of in my blood.
Tomorrow for playoffs start tomorrow. Diamond Bengals first round.
So I know that the sports program is a big deal, And do you feel, Colin, that we're investing enough into the sports for our students? Because I know that there's a lot of need, and this is probably like the lowest of the important things. But
no, I don't. Watch me now receive like concerns, but I don't hear many concerns.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the sixth man. I think, and I guess like you said, it's not like something we hear about. The most,
right.
But I don't hear any concerns in terms of lack of sports. I mean, I've heard a complaint or two along the way, yes, but it doesn't really come like up right now.
Because when I think of Fall River, like that's a big part of what we are, right? Like the Friday nights and everybody in the stands and watching the Hilltoppers and all those things. And I think they're so important. Like I don't know that it gets enough publicity, right? Like I don't think everybody knows when the games are happening. And it just to bring people together, we have all these great. Right, like the new Durfee, we've got these great. So why not have everybody show up? Why not create situations where maybe there are some food trucks and we're making a big deal of the Hilltoppers playing the Whalers like it used to be, right? If the Hilltoppers were playing, look back in the Heron days, if it was a Whalers Hill, forget it. Like the whole city shut down. Like it was a big deal. Now
I think it's not. I think we need to build more camaraderie. I think
there it is. That's it right there. That's what it is.
And I agree with you.
Have you been to a football game?
Yeah, I've been to a couple.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple.
Recently?
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is, one of my point is, like, I'm saying bring it bigger. Like, why not have more? Like, let the city know.
Parade.
Whatever, residents. Like, make it a big deal. Look, if you go down south, like the southern states, football's a big deal. High school football is a big deal. Like, Friday Night Lights. Why?
Marching band.
Right, and we have the passion here. Like, everybody loves... whether you're the Bengals or the Hilltop.
I think Durfee's not doing too well right now, right?
Again, the investment in the sports, why not? Right. I think it's low hanging fruit, man. Like I know we have budget issues and there's so many other ugly things that are happening, but I think this is
brings
something
positive.
Yes, this is something great, and I think it brings the community together. Like everybody gets involved.
It does 100%. So if I'm just trying, if you have any ideas or anything, we can try and
all right
rebuild. I'd like to see how the attendance is going to games.
Yeah.
If it's
because parents show up.
I mean, I don't know if we post. I know in we live stream the games, and maybe that's good. Maybe that's people stay home because they know they can live stream it. Maybe that's a part of it.
Yeah.
So I like to see that, and then
Well, I just think look, whatever we can do to bring the community together, right? Like I feel like we're just
in person.
I also feel like a big thing when it comes to sports and people watching it, like quality kind of has to be up there too. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? We complain about
Says
people
the
not showing up
media
to
guy.
vote.
Yeah.
Like, okay, nobody shows up to vote. And my question to everybody is the same one. Why? Well, you know what? If I know my neighbor, then maybe we go vote together. Like if we're sitting in the stands together and we have common conversation, bro, I ran over 3 potholes coming over here. No shit, me too. Like those conversations taking place, it brings awareness. Ooh. I mean, I know I'm using very basic conversation here, but bringing people together is where the conversation takes place. And if we can do that there, then maybe more people show up to vote because people are invested. You know, like I remember going to fix the fields. Like my kids weren't even playing sports, and I would volunteer, and I'd go to Columbus Park, and I'm over there with a rake, and I'm like, it was community. I knew the people around me.
I think we do have. Maybe they're not advertised enough, and I know some people say we shouldn't advertise but I think sometimes we do.
Community. How about vendors? How about people in the city showing up to the games, selling like what the people that showed up for your event? Selling the things that they create, having some tents set up.
That's the thing the school committee can, and it's something we can tackle as well because we approved the policy. It's one issue. I don't mean to sidetrack.
No, please.
However, I have an issue with the amount of fees we charge for the use of schools.
Okay.
Obviously, you should be able to pay for the services if like it's custodian, security. You need those things, and that should be paid for by the vendor. But we go beyond that to make profit, and I think we go a little overboard with how much we're charging community organizations to use our facilities, and I think that's something we could look into to again promote more events to take place within the community. I know for example, I know a dance studio that had to pay an arm and a leg just to use one of the middle schools, and I looked at the price for one night. It would blow your mind. It would blow your mind. It was thousands more than what I thought. At that point, just for one night to use a facility.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come at you from the artistic side because I'm in the art community. So there's been this thing that's been bounced around with some politicians called Fall Rivers Got Talent. And the idea, and I'm not going to name any names, but the problem in the city is follow through, by the way, which I have a lot of. So anyway, the idea was a collective that I just was like, yeah, I'm going to be part of that. But it wasn't my idea, so that's why there was no follow through. So maybe I'll take the reins. But anyway, that you have to pay to use these schools. To me, that sounds crazy. When you do something that is positive, like Fall Rivers Got Talent, and you involve 6th through whatever 12th grade, things like that, and you shouldn't have to pay for it.
The heat's on anyway,
things
right?
are supposed to go before the school committee, and we do have discretion of waiving certain things as well. We have an issue of not following policy, another separate issue.
Sure,
but to your point, that's something that should come before the school committee. If it's something that's going to benefit kids, as you're saying, then no, definitely. But just in general, I agree with you. We charge way too much for use of facilities, and that's something that needs to be addressed.
Like the Battleship Cove, for example. Like I don't know who controls that or where the money goes, but
I think that's private.
Okay, well, Aaron Bernardo, like one of the coolest events I have ever attended in the city was on the bow of that ship watching the boxing match. Yeah. Like the sun was setting, the place was packed, people were happy, having a great time. I'm like, this is Fall River at its finest right here. So I'm like, Aaron, you're going to do that again? And he's like, Bobby, I couldn't afford to do it even if I wanted to. Like they charge so much money
Yeah,
to
they
get
up
on the
the
ball of
price
that.
on 'em. Yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately.
right? I'm like, it's like it doesn't make any sense for me to do it. So we did the gates of the city. That's he did that event at the gates of the city because and I say to myself, you fools, like the battleship, like you're bringing all these people on here. People they're on the ship. They're buying products. They're like, this is the idea. Get people here, and you guys are pricing them out because you want money up front. Like to me, like those are the situations.
One thing, I don't mean this is going off school committee.
Sure.
Chamber of Commerce, this one South Coast idea.
Yeah.
We need to go back to just representing just Fall River, not having these companies from outside of Fall River trying to decide what's best for Fall River, or vice versa, or trying to decide.
Can you tell us about that? Like I didn't know this.
I'm going off.
No. You're just talking to the citizen now. You're just one of us.
Chamber of Commerce,
regular guy
is used to be the Fall River Chamber of Commerce, advocate for the commerce businesses of Fall River.
Sure.
They unified with New Bedford. And I think that's in itself controversial.
Sure, because New Bedford's doing really good.
Have we been getting the best bang for our buck? We were told at the time it would help. Promoting both cities would help both cities.
Yeah.
Are we getting that? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but that's something that should be looked into.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day who's an investor.
Yeah.
And amazing human being. And he's like, Bobby, I want to invest in the city. He's like, so myself and some investors, we went in to talk about opening a restaurant. And we were told that if we wanted to have a meeting to talk about opening a restaurant, that we had to pay a fee to meet with a certain individual before we could even have that conversation.
You tell me, I'm really curious. I know I'm not. I'd love to know if it was a.
I think you know who. Like, I hate to say the name because I just don't want to throw anything out
I'm
there.
not asking you
but
to,
I think you know who that is, and the idea. And then this person said to me, Bobby, I have been doing this for a really long time, and in many cities. He's like, they actually opened up the restaurant in New Bedford. That's why I mentioned this. And he said, never have I ever sat down with a city representative who told me that I had to pay a fee in order to sit down and have a conversation with them. So when I hear things like that, like I'm saying to myself, okay, so this is an individual sharing this with me. How many times has this happened, and how many times does it happen? And things are happening in the city because people are willing to pay the fee, and the ones that aren't willing to pay the fee are going elsewhere to do business because they don't want shenanigans.
Yeah, no, I think economic development. We could do a whole other show.
Oh yeah,
on
for
that.
sure, man, for sure.
I got more school stuff, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, about 8 at Boomer Ashes.
I know he's got us
at 8:15.
All right. So about 5 minutes. We'll do 5 minutes. We'll do 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
I just, my this is serious.
Go ahead,
This is
bro.
a serious thing. So Durfee, okay, Corey, I forget his first name. He's in the school committee.
Yes.
Yeah, like the guy. You're not allowed to answer that question.
Oh, I can answer any question I want. We have sincere disagreements on policy.
All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Sure.
I don't want to dig too deep. That was he. So he is the Corey sister dad, right? The singers.
Yes.
All right.
I think they're very good singers.
All right. All right. Yeah. So here, I'm not gonna talk about. Yeah. So when I was in high school, there was a group. He ran it, and another individual called Paul Lee. The program was called the Peaceful Coalition.
I've heard of it.
Okay. So 2020, there was a double homicide in my neighborhood, the 5th Street Park, Griffin Park, and everybody in the city, the Channel 10, everybody wanted to come to our neighborhood organization, our meeting at the Corky Row, and give their 2 cents on all kinds of random stuff that had nothing to do with the murders. And I brought up, like, hey, what happened to the Peaceful Coalition? And Mr. Corey kind of just gave he replied not with an answer, but almost like, it's not my fault that it doesn't exist, I want it to exist. That's kind of the answer I got from him. So Peaceful Coalition, just so you know, was in Durfee. It's when you would take this gang member, opposing gang member, and you'd stick them in the same room, and 13, 14, 15-year-old kids are knuckleheads. They don't think the way we think,
right,
and
right.
I was one of them. So
Yeah.
when you sat in the opposition, somebody that you
You're supposedly right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
It makes you have a conversation, or it makes you like, there he is right there, like there's my guy that I fucking hate,
Yeah.
And now what happens is you start growing up mentally. Like, what do I really have a problem with this guy for?
Right.
What am I really?
Well,
doing?
you're actually presented with it, right? You're presented with this person in front of you. You realize we're really pretty much the same person.
I've talked to a few people who have went through that program when it did exist, and the same. It worked for me.
Okay.
When I was.
That's great to know, right, Colin? To hear something like that.
I was a gang member end of 5th grade, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. When I got to Durfee, I was still a gang member, you know, and it took that program and other things for me to wake up to realize, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is stupid. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that program actually really
works, and I'm not the only one that will say that. I know a friend of mine who works for Fall River Recreation, and he said the same thing, and we bonded over that.
Dude, thanks for sharing that, bro. That matters.
So I mean, a program like that, I mean, why do we have anything like that? And I think the answer is no. But
not like that. No, not like how you described. We do have
because gang violence is big in this city, guns and So I'm sorry.
There is youth court. We do have a youth court program, which has from what we're told, it has positive numbers, but nothing like that. And I think, especially now, I think that's something that should be considered being brought back.
You have youth court?
Yes.
Like legality?
No, it's a program where it's a court. You plead to a certain charge, and it keeps you from going to real court.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So from having a record, that's the point. But
so giving you a chance. This is the consequences if you don't smarten up.
But it's not like how hey, I know Bobby's a member of this, and I know Jody's a member of that.
No,
put them in the same room.
No,
that shit works, bro.
That's it. As you said, it's something that should be brought back, and that's something I can get you in touch with the superintendent. I'm being serious with this too.
No. I play a character, and Bobby knows I'm a serious guy. That's something that I've talked to a few people, and I think I would love to be a part of it because I know I experienced it. And I know it works.
I think I know the right people to get you in touch with.
Wow, that'd be great.
Serious. So,
that's amazing.
We'll link.
I love to hear this. Like the thing's actually happening. You know what I mean?
I've been saving this. I was letting you do your thing.
Perfect. Colin, I have to mention this because the audience would be mad if I didn't. They're all saying that you look stunning today. So I just want to, like the man looks dapper.
They like the tie, man. They keep saying the tie.
Colin, that tie.
Saying stunning tie.
Yeah, Colin, that tie looking amazing right now.
It's an inside joke. The tie.
I think I don't know, but there's a joke because someone, I think it was the mayor.
No, it was Paul Coogan. I remember this specific video because I laughed at it because Paul just walked in. He was like, "Hey, Colin, nice tie."
So that's what it is.
I don't know. I think that's but thank you.
Well, this is amazing, Colin. I'm just so grateful that you came into the studio today, bro. I know that we tried to get you in here before, and just things didn't work out. And
I'll be back.
Absolutely. Look, I actually wanted to mention that and say to you that moving forward, brother, if you ever this is your look, whatever you have to say, whatever you want to do, you're always welcome here. I appreciate the fact that you're so candid with us. I appreciate the fact that you put your hat in the ring and you're doing this, and you're in it for the right reasons, brother. And I can feel that. You know, and as I say, one thing that I'm blessed is that I can sit down with you guys and have these conversations and really feel the energy and realize you can tell when people are bullshitting you, man. Like this is the way it is, and I feel like that's not happening. I feel like everybody's in it for the right reasons. People care, and I think the citizens should feel really good about the people that are in place in the school committee right now. And
I think you should look forward to January.
Yeah, right. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, and
for the school committee.
Yeah, and so and walking out of here, Colin, is there anything you want to say to the constituents?
No, I want to thank you, Bobby, for having me on and for being candid and for having a very relaxing environment. Thank you, your boy Loco. And make sure, please stay involved. If you have any questions, please reach out. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you. How about you, Loco? What do you got going on here? What's this all about?
Oh, we're gonna talk about my.
Well, my question is how do you get your face on that box? That's what I want to know.
This is a brand. They make it in Mexico. It's tequila. It's reposado. It's really good. They asked me to be an ambassador, so you can contact me and we'll get you guys.
All right. So two things I want to talk about just real quick, and then we'll walk out of here. November 1st, you had an event.
November 1st?
Yes.
I did?
You did. You had the...
that already happened. We're past that.
Yes, I'm talking about November 1st. And it was a huge event. It was a costume. Real quick, how did it go? I wasn't able to make it.
We all dressed like people from the 70s. We had Jerry curls and afros and bell bottoms, and it was great.
A lot of people show up?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer showed up.
Yeah, this guy, Jody, dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
I lost it when I saw him.
Can I ask you a question, dude? Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Why do you do this stuff outside of the city? Why not do it here?
I do stuff here. You
No,
rep
more.
that summer.
No, I know that, but more here. More here, less there. Is
it depends.
Is it because like you're expanding? Because I would understand that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
So
expanding the market.
honestly, Fall River is a very tough place. There's a lot of
It's kind of how I was kind of hoping you'd
mentalities.
say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of old school ways of thinking, a lot of hatred.
And not only
a lot
that,
of-
you collabed with Mula Monopoly.
yeah,
that's
and
from Worcester.
that's a particular event. He's the guy that I collaborated with is from Worcester.
Yeah.
So
Well, because I know you had some issues when we had that event at the
Yeah.
Cultural Center. Like there was another venue.
yeah, we were
and-
supposed to do it below my studio, and the person as the landlord said he didn't want that type of crowd.
which was an amazing crowd, too, by the
Yeah,
way.
and he didn't want that type of people, so we used the cultural center. But I've been hanging out with people from the arts community, and I've been learning a thing or two. I was at City Hall yesterday, and things are going to be changing in the city, so that's why I'm here hanging out with this guy.
Yep.
And I think things are gonna like
Yeah, I feel it too, bro.
2026,
Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming in today, bro.
I appreciate
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Shit,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Thank you, brother. So we have a big event coming up December 6th over at the Brewhouse District. I'm working with Nick, working with Marco.
Oh, I like Nick.
Have you had a
Nick's-
chance to
Nick's
go
my
yet?
guy.
Have you had a chance
I've
to
been
go
to
to the Brewhouse?
Brewhouse.
Well, no, for the
Nick's
Rat
my
Pack
dog.
night.
Event, no, but I know Nick and he does a good job.
All right, so
there,
December 6th, I'm going to hold
Best
you to it, bro.
mozzarella
What day is it?
sticks
December
ever.
6th. I think it's a Friday night, I
All right,
believe.
yeah. All right,
Yeah,
so
it's a
we'll-
Frank Sinatra night. I believe we'll be broadcasting live. The Bobby Couto show will be there live. So it'll be a huge event. I like to have everybody come in
let
and
me
just
know. Yeah.
hang out. So
Well, maybe you'll come upstairs to my studio for once, and I've been here 100 times. I mean,
I would love to come see your studio.
Your boy
I don't
Local
think-
TV's
I
right
invite you.
upstairs.
I'm like, hey, come to my studio. Like, I don't know if I got that from you yet. I don't know if I got it. Hey, come to my studio.
You're invited.
All right.
So is Colin.
All right.
All right, I'll be down.
That'd be great.
Diaz.
All right.
Nice.
What? Damn it. You did.
Listen. In my defense, like when I was doing research on him, I went for pronunciation, and because it said Diaz, I'm like, oh well, I'll go.
No,
with,
my mom. No, here's the thing. My mom sent me your like preview.
Yeah.
And he's like, make sure you correct it. And I
Isn't
Diaz.
Diaz with a Z?
It is,
Yeah,
but I
Diaz.
thought you said
It's Diaz.
Diaz, and he said Diaz.
No, it's the other way.
I knew it was Diaz.
Yeah. Yeah. I have this thing about like the ends of people's names, like Fiorentina restaurant. I say Fiorentinis. Like I like to put like acronyms at the end of people's names. You know what I mean? It's just something I've always done. I don't know. It's just my thing. Jody,
Good job,
thank you so much,
guys.
brother. I
Thank
appreciate you being here. Everybody,
Thank you.
follow, and subscribe to the show if you haven't done so already. Please leave a review. Apple, it really matters. It's really the momentum of the show, and without that, like we really can't gauge the interactions. We appreciate everybody joining the live cast. We've got a couple of shows coming up, a couple of one-on-ones in the old style Bobby Couto element, and I'm looking forward to that. But please remember to like, follow, and subscribe, and we appreciate you being here. And remember, everyone, always remember that all roads lead here.
Absolutely.